Hi, my name is Ranjit Jose Ephraim, and this is a demo for my final project for cs575 software design course. I've developed a web service application which helps you to view, export, and delete cookies which are stored in SQLite format, especially for as part of this demo. I am taking the example of Firefox. Firefox stores its cookies in cookies.sqlite file at a particular location on the system. In my system, it depends on the profile when Firefox is installed, and in my system, it is part of this particular profile at cookies.sqlite file. Now, my application, as part of my application, I've developed a web service which has three transactions: the get, export, and delete cookies. Initially, I had planned to implement this particular web service for different browsers, but it turned out that it would have been redundant if I had done the get all the three transactions for different browsers. I would have been doing the same logic over again, so it seemed pointless. So I have just implemented for one particular browser, which can be extrapolated for other browsers as well. My web service application has four layers. First is a web layer with the WSDL and the implementation Java file. It has the facade layer, which is the EJB layer of the application. Then it has the context layer where majority of the logic is there, where the result set is obtained and is processed, and the DAO layer, or the data access objects, where I actually use the queries to fire into the SQLite database and then get the result set out of. On top of that, I have my schemas folder with the XSD file, and a value object with a value object file for just setters and getters. Okay, I'll start off with my wisdom. Um, as I had mentioned, it has three different transactions. So this is my visual structure. So my get transaction has an input of base domain. I can get values from my SQLite database depending on the base domain. So this is my SQLite database. So if you can see, it has the columns ID, base domain, name, value, hosts, etc. I have designed the application such that a user can query the cookies based on the base domain. Either he can give it as all, or he can give it as some value, and the query will be found in such a way that it gets all the cookies for that particular value. So this is my structure for the WSDL for all the three transactions. It is implemented in the IMPL file. Let me just do a quick demo and then show how it works. This is the console where the application is deployed. If I go to the deployments, I can see my CRD service, that is cookie retrieve and delete service. And as part of the export transaction, the Excel files are stored in a particular folder, and that folder is deployed as a web application so that I can access the reports through my browser. Now, if I go, this is my implementation file. I go to the test page. I have three transactions. So let me just try. I'm giving a sample value as test for get Firefox cookies. When I run it, I get the error saying that no records found for input base domain because there is no base domain with test value in it. If I give it as all and trigger the transaction, I get the entire list of cookies. I go back, I give, let me try to export so that I can get some particular value and then try with that. My export Firefox cookies, it gives me back a link to an Excel sheet. If you can see, this is the name of the Excel sheet that has been developed. If I go to my folder, 2:28 p.m., this is the particular file that was generated. I can, since I've deployed the folder containing the Excel sheet as a web application, I can access it through my browser. It gets downloaded, and when I open it, This is my Excel sheet with my entire cookies. If I go to the end, you can see that there's 444 rows. With the entire set of data from the SQLite database. Uh, to trigger the other transactions, I'm just taking one particular base domain as an example, Intermundo Media. I'm going back to my console, my web service page. I give that value in my get Firefox cookies and I trigger it. I get all the cookies specific to that particular base domain. Right. I can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cookies are there. If I go to my Excel sheet, there were 444 rows as of now. I go back to my web service page. I give the same value in delete Firefox cookies. I delete the same and I get a success and saying that 5 rows were deleted. I go back. I can give the same value again and try, and ideally it should give no records found for input based domain since all the rows were deleted. I'll export once more just to verify that the entire number of cookies were deleted. I get the Excel sheet again and I can open it. If I go to the last one, you can see that there are 439 rows. So the 5 rows for those particular base domain gets deleted. That is the functionality of my application. I'll be sending the code out since it cannot be deployed like I mentioned in my mail. Mm, you can go through the application, the code, and see how it works if needed. Um, the IMPL is generated by the entire application is developed on WebLogic 10.3 and the IMPL is generated with the help of the IDE itself. If I go to web services, generate web service, it gives me the IMPL file with the transactions in it and the logic is implemented. If you go to the DAO file, this is where the queries are written and this is I use a specific jar file for the SQLite um, database. If we go to appinflib, the particular jar file has been placed here. When we create the web service from the WSDL using right-clicking, it generates the jar file with the beans in it, which has to be put in the appinflib, wherein we can use that to access all the beans. For example, get Firefox cookies request, the bean can be accessed. Similarly, I have created an XSD file which is put in the schemas folder. So that when the application is built, if we go to the classes that are built, we'll be able to see the entire list of beans that are generated as per the XSD. Alright, so this is about my application. I'll be sending the code out along with the link to the video so that you can evaluate my work. Thanks a lot for the help and yeah, thank you.